Hello and welcome to day 3 of my month-long Halloween marathon. Today I catch up fully with the Underworld franchise by covering the most recent entry from last year. This is me reviewing Underworld Blood Wars from 2016. Directed by Anna Forster. Machiavellian antics and the like preside over a story involving both vampires and werewolves fighting to obtain lead protagonist Salon's blood, which contains indistinct magical powers. Unless it makes a cool visual, that is. Underworld Blood Wars is just another entry into the much maligned action horror blockbuster franchise, and a mediocre one at that. Aside from hints at Salon's mortality, there is nothing to define Blood Wars from the previous contemporary period Underworld entries. Unlike yesterday's Awakening, Blood Wars spends too much time world building and not enough time storytelling. It almost feels nostalgic watching Blood Wars, as so many of its faults are shared with the first Underworld entry. Too much time is spent on building a universe around such a paper-thin concept as vampires versus werewolves. I mean, bloody hell, how many comedies over the years are picked up and run with the same exact concept? Why do you do this, Underworld? No one ever takes you seriously. Blood Wars also lacks scope. I don't know whether it's because of the overall tight composition of the cinematography or just a simple lack of locations. The budget is truly felt in this one nonetheless. As viewers, we are also left wanting strong bloody violence, usually a trademark of the Underworld franchise, as Blood Wars is relatively toothless given previous entries. In fact, Blood Wars is the first Underworld entry to be given a 15 rating by the BBFC since the first one back in 2003. A sign of contemporary Hollywood's frigidness, or is that kind of thing just now passé? Either way, such an omission fucks me off, as gore was one of the franchise's most consistent sources of entertainment for me. What's left for me in Blood Wars instead is the most consistent source of aggravation for me concerning this franchise: the dialogue. Reliably tin-eared and resoundingly god-awful, the shit that spews out these characters' mouths out-and-out corpses more scenes than its strawmans. There is simply no place for such one-dimensional character interactions from a theatrically released genre film in the year of our Lord 2016. Sure, we still get the occasional Nicholas Sparks adaptation, but there is simply too much competition nowadays to let such tedious thespin fly. Underworld has no choice but to shape up and sharpen its scripts, or it will most certainly be left in the past as a millennial cinema curiosity. It doesn't make me happy lambasting such ambitious blockbuster filmmaking taking place at a time when such a thing is severely lacking. But Blood Wars just does not equate to the tight narrative and impressive action set pieces of its previous entry Awakening. The film is more of the tedious same from Underworld, as it focuses too much on too many one-dimensional characters, and the plot is consequentially muddled. You know what? I've taken too much. Blood Wars is just a meandering action horror film whose aesthetics and cinematic values are out of their time enough to show rust, but not enough to hone in that sweet nostalgia dollar. It's in a hellish limbo which reminds us of the meaningless capitalist cinema we consume, instead of the, I'm sure, meaningful memories we got consuming such media. I dread the day I look back on Blood Wars fondly. But it's coming. Just not now. Underworld Blood Wars is strictly for fans only. And not even that I'm sure of. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. Tomorrow's film I hopefully get a breath of fresh air with, as I cover 2014's Resurrection of the Mummy.